I lost 50 pounds in 4 months, and here are 5 things I would do if I was to start all over. Number 1, find the sweet spot. Most guys make one of 2 mistakes. They either eat too little and crash their metabolism, or they eat too much because they think they can out-train a bad diet. But both are wrong. Starving yourself to fat loss isn't the answer. See your food as fuel instead. So to start, what you want to do is create a sustainable calorie deficit. A deficit that's big enough to see results, but sustainable enough to maintain your muscle mass and your energy levels. You're not going to have to cut out your favorite food, just make sensible swaps instead. Now you can do this using the fancy formula that's on the screen right now, or you can tap the top link in the description and use the free calculator I've built that does the heavy lifting for you. My calculator is going to give you a 500 calorie deficit, which is enough to help you torch the fat on a daily basis whilst preserving your muscle. Then you want to track everything that touches your lips for the next 2 weeks using an app like MacroFactor or MyFitnessPal to make sure that you're actually eating the right amount. You're going to live about 4,000 weeks. I don't think it's asking too much for you to track your calories for 2 of them. And like I said earlier, and this is really important, so I'm going to repeat it, you don't have to cut out your favorite food. You just want to be making sensible swaps instead. Frappuccinos for Americanos, smoothies for real food, olive oil for cooking spray, chips for air pop popcorn, and chocolate for low-calorie ice cream. Those are just a few that I can think of off the top of my head, but if you follow a couple of them, they're going to save you thousands of calories every single week. But if you want all the detail on this, then I'll link the full video I did on it either here or here. Never remember which side it goes. And then number 2, take your sleep seriously. A new study has compared 2 groups from identical 1,450 calorie deficits. The only difference, one group slept 8.5 hours whilst the other slept 5.5. And as you can see, both lost about the same amount of weight, 6.6 versus 6.4 pounds. But the group who slept more lost 55% more fat and 60% less muscle. Just 3 extra hours of sleep changed everything. The sleep-deprived group's weight loss was mostly muscle, not fat, proving once and for all and pretty conclusively that when you're underslept, you're burning muscle, not fat. But it's no good me saying to just sleep more because, let's be honest, I'm sure you'd all love that. So here's a few practical ways to help you get those crucial extra hours. Number 1, set a sleep alarm. Most people wake up to an alarm in the morning but forget a sleep alarm. So set your phone to remind you it's bedtime 30 minutes before you want to go to sleep. Number 2, cool your bedroom to 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees Celsius. You see, your body temperature needs to drop for you to fall asleep. A cool room triggers this natural process faster. Number 3, and probably the hardest of them all, but maybe the one that has the most impact, no screens an hour before bed. You see, the blue light that's in all of these screens tricks your brain into thinking that it's still daytime. It blocks the release of melatonin, which is your sleep hormone. So what I do is either reading or, more recently, listening to a podcast in bed. Number 4, I've talked about this one a lot in the past, but it's very powerful and it goes against a lot of what a lot of people are doing, and that's to stop eating 3 hours before bed. Late meals raise your heart rate and force your body to digest food instead of repair the muscle overnight. Then number 5, you want to be keeping the same bedtime every night because your body craves routine more than it craves sleeping in. And then last but not least, number 6, the easiest of all of these to implement is to make your bedroom as dark as possible. Or just wear an eye mask, because even the tiniest of lights from all of these electronics can really disrupt your sleep. So I'm not saying you have to implement all 6 of those tonight. Start with just 1, because you can't out-train bad sleep. And apparently you can't out-diet either. And at the end of the day, think about it this way. Those 3 extra hours not only will be more beneficial, but more relaxing than an extra gym session. So your muscles and your mental health will thank you. Number 3, trust the Greeks. The word protein comes from the ancient Greek word protos, which means first. So protein should be your number 1 priority. Why? Because not only does protein keep you full, stabilize your blood sugar, and keep your cravings at bay, but because at 35, you start losing muscle mass every single year. And the only way to prevent that while losing fat at the same time is to eat enough protein. And this isn't just important so that you look good at the beach. It's important because protein gives your metabolism a boost. You see, unlike fat tissue, muscle requires energy, calories to function properly. So the more lean muscle mass that you have, the faster your metabolism has to work. And the faster your metabolism is, the better your body is at burning fat. This isn't about looking like Arnie. This is about turning your body into a fat-burning machine. When I was losing those 50 pounds, I made sure that every single meal had a solid source of protein in it, whether it was chicken, eggs, Greek yogurt, milk, fish, it didn't matter. I just made sure that at least one of them was there. And this did two things. It killed my cravings and it made sticking to my calorie deficit almost feel automatic. So you want to aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of target body weight. So if you want to weigh 180 pounds, aim for 180 grams of protein every day and try to spread it out throughout the day to avoid any hunger pangs or energy crashes. Most guys fail because they try to cut out everything, but the smarter play is to add in more of the right foods so that you don't feel restricted. And heads up, fiber gives you a lot of the same benefits that protein does. So for your next meal, just ask yourself, where's the protein? Where's the fiber? And if you can answer that, you're already ahead of 80% of guys. Number 4, slow down to speed up. Forget running. Forget those hour-long cardio sessions that you dread. Walking is your secret weapon. When I was dropping that weight, I made 70,000 steps a weekly non-negotiable. Walking doesn't spike your hunger like running does. It doesn't wreck your joints, and it burns more calories than you think when you add it up across the week. Think of it like this. Cardio is a sprint, but steps are compound interest. Little deposits all day that keep stacking up. In fact, walking 70,000 steps a week for a year is the equivalent of you running 66 marathons. That adds up to you burning 146,000 calories and a staggering 41 pounds of fat without you having to run a single mile. Better yet, it only takes the average guy 8 minutes to walk 1,000 steps, which means you can do 10,000 in about an hour and a half. In fact, when you factor in that most guys do 2,000 steps a day just existing, whether that's commuting to work, walking around the house, going to the grocery store, playing with your kids, it means that you only have to consciously and consistently hit 8,000. That's an hour's walk at the start of the day to wake you up, or an hour at the end of the day to de-stress and calm you down. Plus, you can multitask while you do it. So turn off Netflix and get outside. Listen to an audiobook or a podcast. Stick on a playlist. Phone your friend, phone your mum, and switch all your Zoom meetings to walking calls. And then last but not least, number 5, play chess, not checkers. Most guys don't quit because the plan doesn't work. They quit because they expect results too fast. They let emotions drive their decisions instead of data. They want to follow the plan 100%. But the second that they have a bad day, mess up, the scales go up by 2 pounds, they throw it in the bin. But fat loss isn't a straight line. It's messy. You'll have weeks where the scales barely move or even go up. And frustratingly, those weeks tend to be when you do absolutely everything right. But that doesn't mean it's not working. Your body weight can fluctuate anything from 3 to 5 pounds, depending on when you last took a dump, water retention, sodium, and so many other factors. But that isn't fat gain. That's just being a human. This is why I weighed myself every single morning and then tracked the weekly average. Some days I was up, some days I was down, but the trend over time was always going in the right direction. And when you have the data, you don't need to get emotional. You just look at the numbers and make the next best choice. So stop guessing and track everything. Calories, protein, steps, workouts, and your sleep. It takes the emotion out of the equation, and quite honestly, that's how you build real consistency. Not through motivation or willpower, through data. And that's all that matters. Just showing up again and again and trusting the process. This isn't a 30-day challenge where you transform overnight. That's the stuff that you see in the movies. Real lasting change takes months, not days. You need to reset your expectations. Think of it like this. If you've been out of shape for years, thinking that you're going to fix it in a month is like thinking you can learn Spanish in a weekend. Trust me, I have tried learning Spanish before. I'm lucky if I know 5 words after 2 days. And when I lost 50 pounds, it certainly wasn't because I was perfect every single day. I still had meals out. I still had the odd beer with my mates. But I wasn't chasing the fat loss. I was building a new lifestyle. I realized that the path I was on wasn't going to get me to the place that I wanted to be. The weight loss in itself wouldn't have made the blind bit of difference. What I needed to do was change the trajectory of my life and ultimately build that new lifestyle. I didn't really care how long it took me, as long as I knew I was making progress and going in the right direction. I celebrated the small wins along the way. Did I hit my protein target that day? Win. Did I get my steps in? Win. Did I resist the urge to order fast food and eat my feelings? Big win. So stop looking for motivation and start building habits instead. Don't get me wrong. Motivation can get you started, but habits will keep you going when motivation disappears. So those are the 5 things that I would do if I had to start all over again. I'd find a sweet spot with my calories. I'd take my sleep seriously. I'd prioritize protein and fiber. I'd walk every day, and I'd play chess, not checkers. Because getting shredded isn't about finding some secret hack or the perfect supplement stack. It's about consistency with these fundamentals. And the difference between success and failure isn't perfection, it's persistence. You'll have bad days. Trust me, you'll have a lot of them. You'll have workouts that you don't feel like doing, and you'll certainly have meals that don't fit your macros. But ultimately, the guys who get the results do it anyway. They do it when they don't want to. They look at the bigger picture and focus on progress, not perfection. And if you just implement these 5 strategies for a few weeks, you'll be amazed at what's possible, because you won't just lose fat. You'll start building a body that you're actually proud of. The thing is though, for most guys, the missing link isn't knowing what to do. I'm sure this isn't the first video that you've watched about fat loss. And I'm sure I'm not the first guy who's told you to make sure you're in a calorie deficit, to eat more protein, or to walk more. But in my experience, the difference often isn't the message, it's the messenger. It's having a system that ties all of this together and holds you accountable at every step of the way. I've built a proven system that's already helped hundreds of guys just like you. And right now, as we come to the end of summer, I'm opening up a few spots for guys who are serious about making this their last transformation. So if you want the exact blueprint that I use to drop 50 pounds and get shredded, plus the daily accountability that makes it stick, then click the second link in the description. But I'll warn you now, this isn't just another generic program. It's specially designed and engineered for men over 35 who want real results without turning their life upside down. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful, but most important of all, I hope it drives you to make a change. And until next time, cheers.